Hi, I'm Meriem from Algeria, and today I had the pleasure to interview LIYSF alumni Simi.
Hi, my name is Simi and I'm an engineering project manager.
Okay, can you walk us through the life cycle of a typical engineering project from the initial idea to the final stage and what key stages students should know?
Okay, so that's an interesting one. I would say most important actually is right at the start, the project planning. What you do there really determines the outcome of the project, like how you scope it, how you actually align with your stakeholders, and how you kind of map out the process of what you're going through. So normally what a typical life cycle would be about project planning. And then when you have your project charter, you then go ahead into the development phase, which often has to do with designing, testing, R&D, that sort of thing. And then once you pass that through, and that is all approved, you can then go out into the actual manufacturing of the part or product, depending on what exactly you're looking at. So planning, testing and development, actual production, and then release. That's what I would say. Typical
Okay,
full stages.
thank you. What year did you attend LIYSF, and could you share why did you apply, and any fond memories?
So I attended in 2013, and I applied because I thought it was an interesting forum. I'd never heard about it before, and I had the privilege through my aunt to learn about it. So it was quite nice. I was 1 year into my engineering degree at the time, so it was interesting for me to kind of come and meet like-minded young people as well who were very, very interested in science. Fun memories, I would say. Actually, once seeing the Hadron Collider when I went to CERN was very, very interesting for me. It kind of almost blew my mind a little bit. And then also the visits. So the scientific visits were really nice. I think I went to Oxford and I saw the plasma reactor. That was also very good.
Very interesting. If you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
Take more risks. 100% take more risks. It's going to work out in the end. Just like jump, it'll be fine.
Okay. Now, how do you see engineering evolving in the next decade, especially with new technologies?
That's an interesting one. I think a lot of the evolution comes from materials and what we can now do with materials. For example, we're now able to create plastics that mimic metallic properties without all the weight. So that opens up a whole range of opportunities for like aerospace, weight savings and stuff like that. And then also the increase in AI and robotics as well. Machine learning has been around for a while, but then on the scale at which we use it now can be a lot more efficient and it can really, really drive product and part development a lot quicker. So like shrinking that development cycle down and getting parts correct first time.
Okay, now moving on to the fun part of the interview. In 30 seconds, what's the most unexpected part of being an engineering project manager?
Okay, let's see. I would say when something goes wrong, you never really know what is going to go wrong, but something normally does. But you have to be prepared for it because that's the whole point of being in the role. You have to have your risk analysis and you got to be ready for when something goes wrong. But the most unexpected and interesting part is what goes wrong. 99% of the time, you're not really sure what is going to go wrong. So it's almost like keeping you on your toes. You always have to be prepared.
Okay. In one sentence, why should young scientists and engineers learn about project management?
Because it's easily the most transferable skill to your everyday life in everything you're doing.
Now for the hardest question. Describe your LIYSF experience in just 3 words.
I would say impactful, insightful, and unique.
Thank you for speaking with me today.